Alright, I want to talk about astrophysicist Bernard E. Carr and his chapter in this book, Beyond Physicalism. And he's talking about levitation, and he's citing Michael Grosso. And I have his book also, but it's on my bookshelf here. But anyway, he's talking about how that the saint that levitates becomes cataleptic and has no memory of it afterward. So what this is actually referring to is the Quantum Zeno Effect. And so in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the light becomes so bright that you lose self-awareness. And what's happening is that there's a increase in amplitude as a reverse time subharmonic, as a quantum beat. And so when we refer to this book as the negative frequency at the horizon on gravity physics, and what they're talking about is a negative refraction index. And so essentially this stream bubble is the holographic negative refractive index. And what Michael Grosso describes is that it is as though we are watching Joseph inside a dream bubble, which amalgamates public waking space with private dream space. So this is the space-time curvature that I've been talking about, that you're actually creating a new space-time when you are dealing with the non-local consciousness. And then Bernard E. Carr says, note that levitation involves a link between mystical states in the physical world and completes the circle. And it is also sometimes featured in poltergeist cases. So this is also what happened with Michael E. Manning that I had described earlier, is that he experienced levitation. And so the figure that Bernard E. Carr is referring to is this figure right here. So he has levitation right here, and the mystical, and then the phenomenal is the normal, and then he has poltergeist right next to that. So he's created a very fascinating, it's a very impressive analysis, and he refers to Roger Penrose also, and how consciousness is necessary to unify relativity with quantum physics. And let's see if he's citing Penrose. I'm focusing the camera here. Yeah, see, Penrose. I never really heard of that Penrose book. Okay, so, the other thing he talks about is how there's a second level of time. And this second level of time is the non-local consciousness. And this is what noncommutativity is also arguing, that there's essentially a mental time that's what's called primordial time or primitive time or fundamental time is the word that Roger Penrose uses. And so okay, so it's Bernardi Carr. He was like head of the paranormal or parapsychology research in the UK. He's one of the leading academics, and he's totally doesn't get any attention in the US. So it's kind of tragic because here's another Levitation. Okay, so he's trying to describe the fifth dimension and the paradoxes of it. He calls it a growing block universe. So this is the second time. Physical time is then amalgamated, while mental time describes how the field of observation moves through space-time. So the intervention of consciousness allows the future world line to change in the first case, or to be selected from in the second case. So that's the Quantum Zeno Effect. So when you have that catatonic state where you don't remember, it's like a strobe light where you're resonating at essentially a different frequency than the conscious left brain dominance of the 40 hertz, which is he refers to the 40 hertz frequency as 250 milliseconds. So, as the Benjamin Libet experiment showed, the precognition is happening at the microsecond. Time, which would indicate a very high frequency, but because it's a reverse time, it's actually what Penrose calls negative resonance. So it's a reverse time, negative frequency, and that's due to this negative refractive index. So this is what the noncommutativity is at the core. And so then when we look at this author on biophotons, what he documented the yin-yang dynamics in the body of the biophotons. So at the acupuncture points, there's a greater emission of biophotons when the acupuncture point is stimulated, and that can be done through massage or even just using meditation with the mind. And so then using this negative refractive index, then you have the equivalent of a white hole and black hole, and you can then store up the virtual photons as a reverse time energy in the body as a photon that's converted into photon energy as a white hole from the black hole. So here he has the past light cone and the future. Observation along the past light cone. So when you turn the light around through meditation, you're able to resonate faster than the time frequency uncertainty due to this higher dimension based on the non-commutativity of a second time. And that's because the listening as logical inference is faster than a visual linear operator. So, go back to the future. So this is the phase that overlaps the future and the past. And the phase is the fifth dimension. Right here, fifth dimension. It's very fascinating. Okay, So this would be the future, the past. This is the fifth dimension. So there's a difference between perceiving an object externally and doing it through meditation. So this is Roger Penrose's big point, is that at the edge of the universe, the scale no longer matters. Size is not, it's just pure time. Alright, I'm just going to leave it at that.